Check 1, 2. Hello. Check 1, 2. Check. Check. Check 1, 2. Mic test.
Mic check 1 2 3 1 2 3 check 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 check 1 2 3.
తక్కువే ఉంది వాళ్ళు. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Chief guest of today's event, former Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu, and Chairman of GFST. He is already here at the venue. In maybe a couple of minutes, we will be starting the event. So when he enters, I want you to keep your mobiles in a silent mode, and as soon as he is here, we'll be starting the program. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I announce the arrival of Chief Guest, former Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu.
It's okay, sir, you can just.
Bring it, one more chair. Yeah, you leave it. All of us will see.
See, we heartily welcome
Firstly, I request you, all of you, to be very quietly follow the discussions because we have a wonderful panel ahead. Let me give you a brief insight into GFST. Today's event is being organized by, as I mentioned, Global Forum for Sustainable Transformation, established by Sri Chandrababu Naidu himself as chairman in March 2020. His vision in setting up this forum was to bring transformation through knowledge, organization, policy research, advocacy, and setting up a startup ecosystem. To give you more insights into the organization and its objectives, we have a short audio visual. Let's watch it. Can we have the audio visual, please?
Strong economy is a source of national strength. As the fastest growing major economy, India stands out as a bright spot in the world. After nearly 400 years, India is well poised to regain its status as a global economic superpower that it held until around 1600, when it used to account for about a quarter of the global gross domestic product. Currently the fifth largest, India is expected to become the third largest economy in the next 5 years. With the mindset of a winner and strategic actions leveraging its strengths, it has the potential to become the second largest economy by 2047. These predictions are supported by strong fundamentals. 4 things that make India proud: vibrant democracy, demographic dividend, consumer demand, and digital infrastructure. India's population is among the youngest in otherwise aging competitive economies. As of 2022, the median age in India was 28 years, compared to 39 years of China and the United States, 45 in Western Europe, and 49 in Japan. This demographic dividend presents an extraordinary opportunity. During his address on the 76th Independence Day, the Prime Minister emphasized the Panch Pran, or lifeblood resolutions for the nation, calling upon the youth of India to play a crucial role in transforming the country into the strongest economy by the time it celebrates its 100th year of independence in 2047.
The youth of today's India has the greatest potential not only to contribute to this country but globally. Globally now, many of the large corporations, MNCs and Fortune 500 companies have the support of many Indians who are now leaders in the board, leaders as the chief executives and chief technology officers, and also in public domain. So this is the inspiration drives GFST to train the youth and take them forward to be global leaders. We are trying to be an advisory and advocacy organization, not only for entrepreneurs but also for public policy makers.
GFST organization aims to unlock the potential which several Indian states have and Indian youth has, right from the emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, and even the logistics space. And since India has a long coast corridor, even developing the boat-based development policy making and various other policy issues also. The organization aims totally for all-round development of the country and to bridge the gap between the rich and poor so that we will have an equitable society in the coming days.
With the largest global diaspora, young and skilled Indian will be global citizen and will dominate the corporate, public governance and technological leadership. Indian consumer will spur the global demand of goods and services for the next 3 decades at least. Technology-driven fourth-generation enterprise in all sectors of economy, agriculture, industry and service will lead the future growth of Indian economy and well-being of its people. Recognizing this potential, Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu, a visionary leader, laid the foundation of Global Forum for Sustainable Transformation, GFST. GFST is an apolitical not-for-profit think tank and policy advisory group for research and strategic sectors critical for transformation of India as a global leader. GFST is a platform for knowledge sharing, enterprise promotion for sustainable transformation of economies, enterprise and communities for overall well-being and happiness. Some of the sectors of interest at GFST are deep technology and digital transformation, infrastructure and logistics, strengthening startup ecosystem, institutional change management, social impact enterprise. Guided by the philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbam, or the earth is one family and a more equitable world, GFST seeks sustainable transformation of economies, enterprise and communities for a shared vision of one earth, one family, one future. How do you wish to contribute to this change? Join us to learn more at gfst.in.
Thank you. So our aim is circulating GFST brochures to all the participants, and there are brochures kept at the registration desk. You can go through and if you feel that you can contribute to any of the areas where GFST is working, you are most welcome to get in touch with us. Like at the end of the film, you have seen some of the objectives that GFST wants to achieve. As part of its exercise to fulfill these objectives and achieve these goals, GFST has started a series of seminars like this, what you are witnessing today. You are most welcome to get in touch with us. Like at the end of the film, you have seen some of the top leaders from different verticals together to brainstorm to develop strategies to ensure the country realizes its full potential regardless of the future that unfolds. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the objective of these seminars. So post this event, we will be having leaders from different verticals together to brainstorm to develop strategies to ensure the country realizes its full potential regardless of the future that unfolds. So ladies and gentlemen,
this is the objective of the these seminars. So post this if energy and public policy. So we want all of you, both experts, industry leaders and young minds, to use these workshops and participate and contribute. Before I begin the actual session, I would like to invite our chief guest along with the team of GFST to light the lamp before we commence the program. So, sir, can I? Thank you. Now it is my pleasure to introduce today's panelists who will be discussing the various facets of deep technology and its impact on society. How do we leverage this technology? How India can progress by applying deep technologies? Here I would like to share one thing. When we designed the program, we thought of having a panel discussion followed by requesting our chief guest Sri Chandrababu Naidu Garu to participate in the session, share his vision and thoughts with all the participants. But he preferred to be part of the panel and then to be engaged by you and also engaging you. So we are looking for a wonderful session, he being at the helm of affairs. So probably in my experience, I have not seen any political leader or a chief minister accepting to be on the panelist and then wanting to listening to what the audience also can contribute to the society. So first, let me welcome Mr. Sanjay Jasrani. Sanjay Jasrani is the founder and CEO of Go North Ventures, a proprietary angel investment firm that specializes in investing in mentoring startups. As an active member of the Indian Angel Network and a charter member of TAI Hyderabad, Sanjay had made investments across sectors like healthcare, deep tech, unmanned aerial, sustainability, consumer and fintech. Please come on to the dais, Mr. Sanjay Jasrani. Ram Deshpande, who is a partner at Ernst & Young, leads digital emerging technology consulting practice. He has over 25 plus years of experience in advising clients on digital transformation. He has worked extensively with Fortune 500 CXOs across consumer goods, retail, manufacturing, metals, mining, life sciences, etc. As a digital transformation leader, he has advised multiple clients on technology-enabled business transformation and adoption of digital solutions. Ram Deshpande. Sridhar Sheshatri is the co-founder and CEO of Spotlock, a deep tech product company based in Hyderabad and the US. Sridhar has previously worked at Facebook and EA Sports, where he led the product insights and the predictive analytics function. His expertise spans artificial intelligence, blockchain, quantum computing, and cybersecurity. Sridhar Sheshatri. Satish Lakaraju is the global head of air freight and pharma at Wizfreight, bringing 3 decades of experience in the logistics and supply chain industry. Worked at TNT Skypack, Dasher, and Agility Logistics. He is on several industry bodies as advisor on logistics issues, an authority on cold chain, airport infrastructure for pharma cargo handling and perishable exports. Mr. Satish Lakaraju, please. Shriya Iyer is currently serving as the sector leader startup programs at Ernst & Young.
Inviting our chief guest of the today, Shri Chandrababu Naidu Garu, onto the dais. Our chief guest needs no introduction. Though it's a cliche, what more I can talk about him? A person in 2000, Time magazine named Naidu South Asian of the Year for turning Hyderabad into India's new information technology hub. Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu is pioneer in implementing technology-intensive administrative measures to optimize efficiency. He is perhaps the first technocrat chief minister who visualized and laid foundation for building knowledge economy and digital economy way back in 2000. He believes in putting technology at the heart of development. Just to give few examples of his Technology Connect, he was the head of 13-member committee of chief ministers to promote digital payment systems and financial inclusion in India, which was constituted by the government in 2016. Shri Naidu Garu chaired the National IT panel under National Democratic Alliance government. In 2001, he was described as one of the hidden 7 working wonders around the world by Profit, a monthly magazine published by Oracle Corporation in US. Among the numerous awards given to him in 2000
in India, which was constituted by the government in 2016. Shri Naidu Garu chaired the National IT panel under National Democratic Alliance government. In 2001, he was described as one of the hidden 7 working wonders around the world by Profit, a monthly magazine published by Oracle Corporation in US. Among the numerous awards given to him in 2002, he was chosen as the IT Indian of the Millennium by popular vote conducted by India Today. Sir, we have the honor and pleasure to have you with us today. Please, I request you to come on to the dais. I request Shri Thakkar sir to honor Shri Chandrababu Naidu Garu by presenting a sapling, please. So now we are ready for the most exciting part of today's event, the discussion part. The structure is like this. Initially, I give an intro to the theme of today's discussion on deep technology. After that, each panelist will contribute his ideas on deep technology, how India can transform to 2014. What we request you is, at the end of the conversations, I want all the participants also to actively engage. We have provided some slips for you to write down questions and then pass on to the organizers, or you can ask for a mic and then either you can make a question or a suggestion to any of the panelists, including Shri Chandrababu Naidu Garu. So I want you to use this opportunity well. As India looks over the horizon to 2047, the 100th year of independence, there appear to be several reasons for optimism. Projections indicate that India is on the course to become
business applications, ease of doing business and addressing social challenges. The building blocks of the new age ecosystem are rooted in digital tech. India's ability to massify tech and use it at scale is one of the key pillars driving economic growth. The 2010s have been described as the decade of disruption. So much what is now normal barely existed 10 years ago. 5G, voice recognition, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and the Internet of Things have changed how we communicate, manage our health and consumer content. Electric vehicles and wearable technologies have significantly impacted public and personal safety and health. Now, at this juncture, what we are looking forward to the technological advancements that can happen in the next 20-25 years, how they will shape our future. As a country, what should be our preparedness to leap into the future? In conclusion, deep tech represents a significant opportunity for innovation and economic growth and is poised to have a central role in building future society and industry. According to news reports, India has more than 3,000 deep tech startups catering to different industries and consumers. This being such an important and impactful sector, GFST has chosen deep tech as the topic for its first event. And today, we have an excellent panel along with our chief guest to discuss these issues much deeper. Since I have the responsibility of moderating the session as well, I have some questions to the panelists. My request to them is to be brief so that we can use maximum time and we have a very diversified thoughts coming from the audience as well as from other panelists. So let me begin by asking Mr. Sridhar Sheshadri, who is actually developing deep tech products and he is practitioner at Deep Technology. Sridhar, what is your vision, how the deep technology will transform in the next 2 decades?
It's working now. Startups have actually played a crucial role, I feel, in last decade by bringing in a lot of innovation. Larger corporates have always struggled to bring in this innovation for whatever profitability that they want to maintain. And with the new policies, the way government, certain state governments have been very supportive, certain policies that have come up at the central government level as well. There are new entrepreneurs, even though it doesn't look like a startup, but again, these individuals are playing the role of an entrepreneur. That's very much like a startup. And I feel that's very critical if you talk about healthcare segment, you talk about energy segment, you talk about infrastructure. You name any of those verticals practically. There is a tech element. All the investments that we are seeing going into startup, it is driven by some part of it is driven by technology. The valuations that we are seeing, the lot of money that's actually getting from different investment perspective from different countries into India, I see that's actually because of the tech as well. The critical part here is how well we apply the technology more than buildings as the technology, and I think that's where we are entering in with the startups ecosystem at this point of time. So startup ecosystem I clearly see is very critical for us for seeing the 2047 kind of vision. We really want some very good use cases coming out of these startups, these becoming large corporates. If I practically look at a decade ago, how we used to visualize
more than buildings as the technology, and I think that's where we are entering in with the startups ecosystem at this point of time. So startup ecosystem I clearly see is very critical for us for seeing the 2047 kind of vision. We really want some very good use cases coming out of these startups, these becoming large corporates. If I practically look at a decade ago, how we used to visualize a lot of small SME businesses or MSMEs, which we never gave that value. Similarly, if we don't do that today at this point of time, with these startups, the whole thing will really, will be very, very much impossible. So what I mean is we really want these startups to do well. these startups have to really change the whole dynamics in terms of different verticals, be it healthcare, as I said. Like there are use cases of diabetic retinopathy that like our startup has really invested and built something into. This is just like using artificial intelligence. We are able to like talk about different stages of diabetic retinopathy with very high level of accuracy. Be it like predicting energy value and maybe the load shedding status of a particular state. How do you really support discoms using like machine learning? So there are many such use cases. You can clearly look at like machine learning, AI, computer vision is actually very much heavily used. I feel like there is like a lot of value in terms of the technology that's actually now getting in. And the value will definitely get converted into the valuation for these companies in long term, increasing the value for the country itself in a large play.
Since you mentioned more about startups, let me bring in Sanjay and Sriram. Sir, I would like to hear from both of you who are involved with startup funding and mentoring. So what is the ecosystem that exists today in deep technology for startups? Yeah. And how do you see in the next decade, 2 decades, how this will shape up?
Sriram, would you like to go? I can go, sure. No, thank you, sir. I think one aspect I clearly see is that startups, because they have frugal capital, they leverage technology really, really well. So the current ecosystem, I think there is a healthy ecosystem right now. And of course, there is always scope for more. What I see, what can be done, so the ecosystem is really a combination of, there is infrastructure, institutions like T-Hub and accelerators, incubators, which are there and they are growing. There are a lot of private and global accelerators which are coming. FalconX, for example, is a global incubator which is also started now. So there is a infrastructure which is available. There are institutes of excellence. For example, IIIT Hyderabad, where I also sit on the board of Center for Entrepreneurship. There is a wonderful partnership between the faculty and startups. So there is a very strong ecosystem there which works closely with research and faculty to leverage the deep technology there. And the third part, of course, is the financial and the investment ecosystem. So there is a bunch of investors who are naturally very aligned towards deep tech investments because they offer the highest scope to scale while being not so capital intensive, which means with frugal capital, they can scale. What needs to be done more, quick couple of points, I won't take too much time, but I do believe that finally every deep tech startup has to be solving a good problem. There has to be, it could be a social impact problem, it could be a education related, healthcare related problem. So I just want to throw in a couple of examples here. For example, the whole ChatGPT and generative AI now, one sees Khan Academy, which is a global free learning organization, in combination with generative AI, can actually bring in education to the masses across India in different languages at a level where it can be immensely helpful to the children, and at different levels of their learning also they can benefit. So your question on how the ecosystem can be improved, can there be more participation from each of the domain institutes to work closely with the startups so that good use cases of the technology are identified and they can be translated into long-term, real and scalable solutions. That's my quick take, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Sriram.
To add to further what Sanjay sir said, so there are quite a lot of things that if I am talking about ecosystem, would like to add to this list. So like for example, you require an active role of media, because unless you have active role of media, how would investors get to know that which startup is good, or how would customer get to know that which startup is good? We would also like to have institutions like World Trade Center, TIE, NASSCOM, so on and so forth. To have more set of events wherein startups, they get visibility, they get the network, because it's all the network play. As one of my professors used to say, that your network is your net worth. So we need to network more. That is what startups require more and more. Further, we would require more and more research institutions like RICH, NASA, so on and so forth, so that they can solve or they can share in their researches with the startups, so that startup, they really get in the value product, but also bring in a wonderful valuation. So bringing that into the ecosystem, how do we do that? Further, we see that government has been talking about a lot of incubation centers being mandatories and all higher educational institutions. Furthermore, we would require that how do we really handle and manage the first time entrepreneurs, what we need to train them. So those are for certain few more things that we really need to think about from an ecosystem perspective that needs to come in. Further, what I would say last but not the least, but the most important factor is how do I think from a policy perspective, which is really going to change. Now, the elements that we and Sanjay spoke about right now, about these are the elements that the startup ecosystem requires. But from the perspective you see that I bring one more angle, that India being a country for one of the ancient countries talking about GDPs contributing big time. But what is stopping us from a policy perspective to think that I am going to give you tax benefits to startups which are actually talking products? Now that changes the mindset. That will bring us far more faster to reach that number one position in 2047. When I really talk about why not to give tax incentives to the people who are trying to really do something very, very new and try to do. So people will start thinking more products. Now that can only happen when a policy comes in that perspective. So lots of potential. Next 20 years, next 100 years, India is certainly going to dominate. I certainly have this gut feeling that we are trying to say that, being productive to say that we are going to be world number 2 economy. I feel if we think right from policy perspective, which is more encouraging, I'm sure 2047 will be a new year of 100 years wherein we will be world number 1 GDP.
Thank you, Sriram. We started with the startups and funding, ecosystem, policy. Now let us go back and see how actually deep technology is being adopted. So Ram, I want you to comment on how enterprises, businesses or governments are using the deep technology. What is the demand coming up from the industry? Then we can move to a use case, how a vertical looks at deep technology.
Sure. I think especially in India right now, the way technology adoption is moving, right? And especially given that government has enabled some of the digital public goods, I think that is driving adoption in India very fast. The other piece which is very important here is, while the startup ecosystem is, I would say, the fuel in that engine, there is a strong governance also required on top of that to make sure that these are the tools. And I remember in earlier days, there was a saying that it's like any technology is like a torch, right? If you give it in the hands of right people, they will really scale the civilization to next level. But if it goes in wrong hands, then obviously it can really cause some disastrous impact. And that governance is very important. I think the adoption is really driven by the reach in the market. Now most of the technologies, be it mobile phones, be it broadband, everything is available to the citizens in the remotest place in India. And that is actually triggering a lot of new use cases. And that ultimately triggers the excitement in the startups, and then that builds the whole ecosystem. Now, the governance part of that also is very important. And that's where some of the organizations like, the big fours, right? They play a very accountable role, I would say. Not only responsible, but they hold the accountability to bring that governance to people and make sure that they work very closely with leaders like you, sir, as well as the industry academia and others, to make sure that the adoption is sustainable adoption. And it's not just a spike we see and then it actually goes other way, right? So that's my take.
Thank you. Satish, how do you see as a user segment in the logistics industry, how deep technology is perceived? What is the level of usage of technology for business purposes? What is your requirement from deep technologies?
So I think to just set the context more in terms of deep technology and the startups and the rest of them, logistics undoubtedly is the oldest profession. Probably prostitution was considered as the oldest profession, and then the logistics came into it. But as far as technology is concerned and its adoption is concerned, you are not even at a 1% or a 2% really in terms of everyone using it. Probably Amazon is one case of a solid deep technology used. But if you look at today, if you look at a basic fundamental in logistics, you almost do 17 times a data entry before a shipment moves from a point A to a final point B in the other part of the world. Now, if you have technology, you should not be entering data 17 times because it's criminal in that sort of it. A fundamental thing that has happened over the years is that logistics companies have tried to build their own technology, but 99% of them, after burning millions of dollars, have not been able to build the technology and have failed. So there are a few set of people who give you a technology which is there. The tech companies don't understand our requirement. The biggest challenge, Ram, for all of us to understand is that guys pass out from IITs, Purdue universities, you name it, and they would have built billions of dollars. But when I talk to a lot of the tech guys who come up and throw things at us, we actually shocked as the understanding of the end-to-end visibility and the rest of them is really a bad situation. Now, matured companies that are there in country like India, I'm not even going to a GE or someone where technology is highly required, because you've seen what has happened in pandemic, how vaccine was distributed and how technology really helped us to get. All of us sitting here undoubtedly have got a vaccine, and that was a combination of both technology and supply chain, which resulted that we did not happen sort of it. But why you need a deep technology to understand is, if the temperature excursion would have happened and the vaccine which would also be given at 2 to 8 would have come at a 15 degrees, how would you have mapped it and what would be the corrective action sort of it. So one, for everyone to understand in this hall and what needs is, there is a great need of our to get your technology right with a clear motive is your end customer. The big elephant in this room is your end customer, who is asking for faster, cheaper and right quality at the right time. Because today someone like a Blinkit today delivers in Gurgaon, where there are no roads literally, in 9 minutes before your son gets off your bed and goes and picks up. The mother is saying, beta, doodh lao, and she's saying, abhi thodi der mein laata hu. Blinkit brings it and gives it to you, because there is a deep tech that was used to get it right. But on the other side of it, today a custom system, and the word custom really means kast dene wala admi, okay, in a true sense. The custom system still drops every 40 minutes and you are not even sure whether your shipment can get onto the next flight. So there is a lack of visibility in terms of, is my system up? 2, can I load it on an aircraft? So then you have a gap between where you do not know sort of it. So I think end of the day, even if for all the people who are trying to do startups, talk to senior veterans like us in the logistics industry to understand what is the requirement and what is readily available. Today we see that there's already a system available being run by an X company, but Y is trying to make the same thing in a new form and shape. So you're confusing it. So first, the startups in the ecosystem need to talk to themselves very clearly and understand, is there a need for another startup to come? Otherwise you will come and you will go, like Sanjay and we were talking offline, the mortality rate is going to be extremely high. And then the last bit that I want to tell you is that there should be some madness in why you are doing this purpose, because anything without a purpose is a disaster. Like when I was talking to sir offline, is that how can we help our farmers to put our produce in the US? Half our population from Andhra and Telangana are, where are they sitting? They are sitting in the North America and Canada. If they want a vegetable today, it is coming from China or it is coming from Canada. It is not going from Andhra. Now, how can you get this produce consolidated and sent to that part of the world and how can you put all these aircraft quantums together is not something which no one is working today. And unfortunately, that is what we are trying to solve now. And that's how we've set up our own tech center, saying is that no one will solve it for you. You get your fund, you get your thing. And now, like I was telling, we are 1,000 employees in less than 2 years. We are in 12 countries. And all the big brands have started to work with us. Because we've got it right somewhere. I think that is what I can only tell you is that we've definitely got it right. So I can take a little more questions later, but I'm giving you an insight of what is happening.
Thank you. Sir, over to you now. Couple of decades ago, when there is no infrastructure, both physical or IT, no human resources are available. Today we are talking about a lot of technologies, startups, ecosystems and all that. But the way back in 20 years back, you have transformed an agrarian economy into something like a future-focused, technology-driven economy and prepared it for the 21st century, for the needs. Big round of applause for that.
Thank you.
So, now a lot is happening. India is like now becoming top 3 globally. Lot of young entrepreneurs are coming up. So now what is your vision? Because always you are ahead of technology and always you have seen how to use technology for the societal benefit. So what is your vision with all the happening around us?
Thank you. Ravi Garu, thank you. I am very happy to be here. That too, we are going to reach very soon 100 years independence. Recently we celebrated 75 years independence. Now this is the subject deep technology by GFST. Many of you, some of you may aware, some of you may not aware, where we are sitting here, this area. No access to this area. Jubilee Hills is the dead end. There is no proper road for this place. Even only jeeps can come or bullock carts can come. Now, driverless cars are coming now, traveling. That is how things are happening. When I started, how to promote technology, nobody had a clue on that time. At least you are all talking now, so many clues. If you do like this, it will happen like this, everything is available. At that time, nobody had any clue. Bill Gates, after inventing internet, then I thought, this is where a new technology is coming. For anybody, either individual or a government or company, those who will adopt technology, they will have a leapfrog development, or they must be in a position to survive in a competitive world. That is where we had series of meetings how to promote information technology. At that time, information technology means in little bit Bangalore, Noida, and also Pune. Little bit lightweight Chennai. Then I thought to create infrastructure, what to do. Then first thing, high-tech city tower, with brainstorming, that BOOT. Then I went to America to promote. At that time, I'm very, very passionate to promote all these things. All the way, I went all corporate giants. One by one, 15 days, meeting CEOs and chairmen, going on sensitizing them that India is going to be a giant in information technology. We are very strong in mathematics. Zero is invented by Indians. And also British, while going, they left English. They have taken Kohinoor diamond. But nobody can take away English. These are all the two deadly combinations for information technology. Then after that I came here. I started number of engineering colleges. If you see today, Triple IT. Triple IT at that time, earlier Channareddy, the then Chief Minister, constructed for Rangareddy District Collectorate. Then people agitated, it is far away, we don't want to go there. Then I started Triple IT in Gachibowli. And then number of engineering colleges. Even employment at the time, all our people used to do only job work. From America, they used to send all the scripts. Night time, they used to work daytime. They used to send all medical transcriptions, everything. People will add and send it. Only we used to get peanuts. Then I used to say, this is not our business, you have to go for products. Then slowly, even English pronunciation was a problem at that time. Then I brought best lecturers from London, from America, all these people, how to teach them, all these things we have done. Then one by one companies have come. Engineering colleges, we have started more and more. Finally, at that time, if you see, technology, nobody, even I had a problem, bigger problem, no bandwidth. There are two great companies, public sector companies. One is BSNL, domestic. Another is BSNL, international. Both are public sector companies. You wanted to contact anybody, it will take 5 days or 1 week or one month. And at the same time, you want to have a lightning call also, it will take so many hours, so many days. But you know one operator in the exchange, you will give directly. That were the days. Even international calls, so much of difficulty to get, prohibitive cost. Then I studied all over the world, how things are happening, how China is adding, all these things. Then I forced 3 prime ministers, successive prime ministers, Devagowda-ji, Gujral, and then ultimately Vajpayee. Then Vajpayee-ji agreed how to do it. Then he told me, no, we have to pay shareholders, market, how to handle all these things. Then I said, everything is possible, you pay premium. Then he constituted a committee. Myself and the then Prime Finance Minister Center, we gave a report. That is how deregulation of telecommunication sector has come. Within 1 year, 2 years, from 20,000 rupees phone has come to 2,000 rupees. Now, smartphones have come. From phone, you are able to work anywhere to anywhere. That is the beauty of all these things. I traveled all these things from the beginning. I remember, even I asked Bill Gates to come I wanted to meet him. He was very busy at that time and also he was an icon, all these things. He refused to meet me. I don't have any business with politicians. Politicians are different, business people are different. Then I told him, I sent a message through his ambassador. I am having a work with you, I want to meet you 10 minutes. Then finally he gave me appointment. Then I prepared laptop presentation, all these things. At that time, this type of presentations also nobody used to do. Even professionals were unable to do. Then I prepared presentation with beautiful vision, everything. So much of time I spent, my secretaries, everybody. Then he spent with me 45 days, 45 minutes. Then he asked me, what you want? I don't want anything. You recognize the strength of India and Indians on IT. If at all you are convinced, you come and start up your company, Microsoft in Hyderabad. That was my request. Then finally, he said, I'm not coming anywhere today, but let us wait, watch. Then I went all the way from here to Seattle. So many times I met him in Davos. Then he became a good friend of mine. Then ultimately he sent a word, yes, I'm convinced I will start Microsoft Development Center in Hyderabad, first of its kind after Seattle. Then employee of Microsoft has become president of Microsoft today. You see, one step you move forward, one step automatically it will help. That is the ecosystem we built step by step. That is where this Cyberabad, this area, if you can see Hyderabad, we have planned knowledge economy. One side information technology, one side pharma, another side biotechnology, another side finance. All these things we are able to integrate. Now people are enjoying the dividends of our effort at that time. So, as you rightly mentioned, maturity has come now. Indians are having advantage of technology. That is our USP. I can say it is in our genes now. And also, all over the world, Indians are doing extremely well. We'll come towards that also. First mover advantage for Andhra people, Telugu people. Initial movers advantage. That's why you go to any country, I used to say all these things for the last 25 years. Out of 4, globally, 1 is Indian. Now it has increased also. Among Indians, out of 4, or out of 100, 30, 35 are from Telugu people. That is how first mover advantage has come. Second advantage, demographic dividend. India got a very good advantage. Just now you have seen this slide. I am having strong belief on youngsters. They can do wonders now. These are all the deadly combinations for knowledge economy. So, beginning of infinity, you want to do anything, you can get it done, but leadership is important. That is where all of us, this conference is meant for that. Where to take, how to take, everything is available. Tomorrow, some more things will come. How we are going to take this technology to all walks of life. Deep dive. Second, how policy makers can make a public policy to promote this for overall benefit of the common man. We are all talking only entrepreneurs, ecosystem, that's good. But at the same time, all of us has to keep general public, poorest of the poor, or masses, how to empower them. This is where I am very much interested with all of you. I am a student. I want to learn from you. Sometimes learning is a continuous process. Sometimes what you learned earlier, it has become irrelevant. New things, again you have to learn continuously and apply our mind. So I want to listen more from you, how to take the benefits of all these things to the common man. There also I want to discuss some of the items. One is if you can go through, India is a great country. Even from the beginning, India is a great country. 400 years back, we are great. After that, so many innovations, so many people have come, they destroyed economy, they looted economy, all these things have happened. 1991, that to Telugu man, P.V. Narasimha, has started economic reforms. That is the beginning of turning point for India. That is where so many engineering colleges, medical colleges, all these things have come. This is where, after economic reforms, PPP model, public-private partnership, I can call it P3 model. This model is creating wealth. That is the result of, if you see all of you, you may not visualize, but people are enjoying because everything is available now. Roads, one example. All national highways earlier, to reach place to place, very difficult. Small country, Malaysia, they had 8-lane road, 1,000 kilometers east-west corridor. I traveled that road. Then I met the then Prime Minister. I am feeling very bad. I am feeling ashamed of it. Small country, 2 crore population, they are having this road, we must have. Then he told me, where is money? Money is not necessary, money will generate. That is where we brought first time, under PPP model, BOOT, build, operate, own and transfer. First proof of concept, Chennai to Nellore. Today, if you go anywhere, your national highways, very, very happy, drive to, we are having pleasure to drive. That is the beauty of all of our roads. One decision has made all the difference to reach the last mile. Now national highways are having abundant funds. Where is the funds? Users are paying. Now they are going with the technology now. That is where the deep drive technology, cameras, automatically to lead your car, then bill will come to you, no pain for you, no corruption. That is the benefit you got it. Then recently I am thinking, why can't you make all roads, including state highways, BOT model, then collect money from cars, 4-wheelers, totally, cars or buses or trucks. It will be win-win situation. That is the policies all of you has to think over. Now I am having one more thing, wealth creation is certain. All wealth are enjoying only few individuals or few companies. This is where I am thinking P4 model. People, public, private partnership. Make people as partners. And Sanjay is doing mentoring for startup companies. Why can't you mentor people also, depending upon your bandwidth, 100 people, 50 people like that, every individual can do it, then this country will become great country. 2047, no poverty in India. Every poor man you can make rich. This is my ambition, this is my desire, this is my request for all of you. Find solutions for that. That is where I came here to learn from you. As a policy maker, I have seen bullock cart. As MLA, I used to get 3 cylinders quota to recommend. At that time, 3 phones won't work, only ornamental. These are all the quota. Today you are seeing all these things changes. Driverless car, bullet trains, and also fuel. At that time, power also so many problems. I had a hectic time when I became Chief Minister with this Sauda, Electricity Department. Every summer, 3 months, all communist leaders used to bring people in a big way. They used to demonstrate there. Roads are blocked. Assembly they used to stall. No power. Then I used to take helicopter to go there to witness that fields. That were the days. Then I brought power sector reforms. You have seen that power sector reforms today. This is where everything is possible now. It is only visualization and how we are going to, after visualization, how we are going to transform vision into outcomes. If you do that, I don't have any doubt India will become globally number 2, our people are saying, but if perform, we will become number 1. Indians, I am 100% confident, they will be number 1 globally by 2047. Not Jewish, Indians will be number 1. Among them, Telugu people will be torchbearer. That is going to happen. So I need to learn from you, all of you.
Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful, insightful. You took us back, and then also you have shown us the vision for the future. Wonderful. A big round of applause to Chandrababu Naidu garu.
Thank you.
So as sir said, please be ready with your questions. If you have already made, please pass on the comments. I will have one more round of with the panelists, and then we will come to you. Okay?
No, you can ask some questions, again I can come.
Okay, okay.
That is
I
better.
see a hand there. Please announce your name and company or organization.
Thank you, sir. I have two gurus on the days, Mr. Sanjay and of course you. Sir, I'll give you a context to the question. In 2007, I was at the London School of Economics. We had the Nobel Prize winner, Paul Krugman, who spoke about you in 2006 as being the harbinger of reforms in India. You saw technology when we barely heard about it. So I would call you the original, the OG of technology is you. So my question is, ChatGPT actually represents a break from the past technological development. I think it has the potential to change the world in ways that we cannot even imagine. There are countries like Italy, Portugal, China, Russia, which have already made the moves to ban it. But there is also a potential of ChatGPT to do great good, right? My question is, what is your view about a transformative technology like generative artificial intelligence? And if you were, if you were to make a policy, what would be your stand on that?
No, I am very happy. You cannot block the technologies. Then we will be foolish. Today, Indians all over the world are doing extremely well. What is the reason? Only because of IT. Same Indians they have migrated. Only small number, wherever they go, they used to work as limited number doctors or agriculture or some motels. Today, in America, almost all, every country, our people are doing extremely well on information technology and also entrepreneur skills. That is one is age is an advantage, and also thinking process has been changed. Earlier, whenever you go outside, we are all diffident to talk with them. We thought we are inferiors. They are much, much superiors in thinking and knowledge, everything. That's why in high-tech city, I called American President Mr. President. He told me he was very happy, and then he quoted me. Then he went to America, he called all his governors. You are all thinking great. Go and visit Hyderabad. There is one government is working beyond our expectations. I gave him at that time driving license, here only. Then he joked also, if I drive in India, I will met with accidents or I will create accidents. ChatGPT you cannot ignore. Artificial intelligence, you cannot block it. If you block, you will block your future. I am very clear on that. How to use it for betterment, for overall benefit of the society, you have to work it out now. That is where I am saying P4. You are saying one thing. Under P4 model, by putting all families' data, I can prepare vision document for a family. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years vision document. Then people like Sanjay, all of you, basing on your bandwidth and capacity, you can take mentoringship by spending some resources, some time, leadership bandwidth, everything. Then you will see the changes. I am an ordinary man. I born in a village. My village don't have road, no bus. We used to do leveling all these things by using all our bullock carts. Then bus they used to send. That were the days. No power. In Lantar, before Lantar we used to read. I used to travel 8 kilometers for high school, carrying my carrier. So that were the days. Today we are having all these advantages, but how to take to the logical conclusion is important. I entirely agree with you. By using all these things, 2047, how to make India number one, Indians number one globally. It is possible, it is going to happen. Now things are changing after COVID. If you see, working styles have been changed. Virtual working and physical working. Social life, people are going and working, or otherwise, virtual working also, people are doing. Services and goods, how so much of changes if you see e-commerce. If you produce something, you identify your consumer, delivery will be on e-commerce channels, on their own or on your identification. So these are all the things are going to happen in future. So we have to encourage it, but there are some debates, pros and cons, what is going to happen, human intelligence. Ultimately, even GPT, artificial intelligence, everything has to be executed by human being again. That is where Indians are having upper hand. That we have to use it.
Thank you. Before coming to audience questions, since the chat GPT subject has come up, I also want to have the technologist perception. So there are two things. One is, Sridhar, you should tell us what are the ethical issues involved with chat GPT. My second question to any of the panelists is, how chat GPT can be used by common man? Because I think this is the quickest adoption that we are seeing, either governance or how can it be used by industry quickly?
So the ethics part is like always subjective because the law of the land defines ethics at times, but I feel like we have to take it a level above and think from humanity's perspective, where there are certain set of well-being pillars for ethics which are defined. We have to ensure new frameworks have to be defined as part of the policy, where the 5 pillars of ethics are taken care of, and it is actually correlated to the technology use. Example like as simple as you're writing an exam today, and that exam questions if I put into chat GPT and I generate all the answers, while the government is trying to help online education. And if I use a tool like chat GPT and fill those answers and pass my exam and get my degrees, that is unethical. So we will have to even make counter systems to like stop that, where the work will start happening eventually as we make policies around it, and especially like people who are here in the crowd who are like all experts for some of these domains of deep tech. I believe that's their role as well, to come forward, draft these policies, pass on to GFST kind of bodies, where while there is an opportunity in future, we can work together to make policies and ensure like we are ready. India is ready actually for that bit of it. So anything that you believe like is a question mark, like I can imagine 50 years ago or maybe 100 years ago when everybody couldn't get a driving license and there was no clear definition of accidents, there was always a gray area around it. Similarly, we are in a gray area spot at this point of time around ethics. There has to be policy creation to be done. Once we create these policies, we help the government rather than putting a question mark. I think we will then lead this whole journey to the next bit of it. So right now, that's the time.
No, yeah. Can I intervene here? When I started biotechnology, people said it is not correct. If I should have stopped at that time, No COVID vaccine today by India. This is where I am saying how to use it for better purpose is important. Everybody is saying at that time, because of biotechnology, so many changes, artificial changes you can bring, which is not good for nature. Nobody stopped it, it has gone. That is what.
No, thank you, Ramprasad. And Kiran is a good friend. Thank you for asking. So my view is that with guardrails, I'm a big fan of that ChatGPT can be a quantum leap in terms of democratizing technology. I'll just take two quick use cases, Mr. Ramprasad. One is, like Sir mentioned, very kind of him to say that, I'm a mentor and I can do that. Actually, in education or even in access to public policy, benefits and everything, there are already systems which are coming into place where ChatGPT can be used by the common man to understand what are the various benefits which the government is offering. They can be around subsidies, they can be around insurance, they can be around free education for their daughter, bunch of stuff. Similarly, in education, the point I mentioned about Khan Academy, I was watching a TEDx video which shows that on one side, like he said, you could use ChatGPT to cheat and actually, make your answers, right? But on the other side, with certain guardrails, ChatGPT can be your personalized mentor, your personalized teacher, where it will ask you questions. It will help you to think in the right direction. If I were to just dip towards healthcare, I'm fairly engaged with healthcare quite a bit. I'm on the board of a large hospital in Hyderabad. Today, the healthcare proportion of doctors to population is extremely low, especially rural healthcare, like Sir mentioned. If I look at the Bharat side access to healthcare, ChatGPT can be a good co-pilot for telehealth practices. A lot of standardized responses can be filtered. I'll give you an example. There is a healthcare startup which detects tuberculosis by the sound of the cough, as versus taking a sample of your sputum and then culturing it and taking 10 days. With a 95% plus accuracy, this startup is able to detect early tuberculosis just by the sound of the cough. Deep tech AI combination into healthcare. That's my quick contribution, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Sriram, quickly.
So, with reference to what exactly the chat GPT is doing, like for example, as Sanjay also mentioned that, that you can become a personal this thing. And I see there is a lot of potential. As Sir was saying initially, that, if we take example, these all things actually get to feed it into chat GPT. If you see example of even Mukesh Ambani, few days back, or probably 18 months back, they hired a few consultants. They are looking at the Japanese model to prepare a vision document that what should be the vision for that company and that for their family. So as Sir rightly said, it is very much required when you are talking about SDG goal number 15, 17, thinking about people, that how they should think about livelihood, how they should go to the next levels. I guess this is where the technology should go in. The technology should go into a level that, okay, if I'm going to give in my resume, or if I'm going to say that this is what I am doing and what is what I need, a chat GPT should tell me that, hey, this is what is possible for you. We don't have access to good research papers. We don't have access to best of the technologies. They should tell, hey, this is what your path is. This is how it should be. So as in the other people on the forum said, there are very, possibilities which will really help us to go to the next level. Also, healthcare, policy works everywhere wherein ChatGPT can play a significant role. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just add a couple of points and I'll go back to Sir's earlier comment. How to take technology to the grassroots level people. Agriculture sector, right? I think there is a significant, there are many use cases in agri sector with generative AI, which is ChatGPT, or even broader AI also, right? The advantage India has, right? All these systems fuel on data. India has, by sheer just virtue of population, I would still call it, huge and massive data. So the accuracy of information is a function of data you use. And India is in a best position, be it healthcare, be it agri. The other dimension, India has multiple languages, dialects. Using ChatGPT kind of solution, we can break the barriers of language. So the farmer or person in a rural village can still access information which is available for people in Hyderabad or Bangalore or Mumbai.
Thank you. Satish, before ChatGPT, we have seen already lot of businesses have started chatbots to address their customers. So how do you see this changing the service delivery to customers or bringing a lot of information to them?
See, we are very primitive in the logistics industry, which is my domain, in terms of saying, when does a truck come into a factory for a factory stuffing or rest of them, which is the crudest way to this. You would pick up a phone, you would still dial, tell the transporter, sir, abhi aa jayega, aadha ghante mein aa jayega. From that to things like the current technology that have come in, the accuracy level has increased to a very large extent. The other thing is today in the factories or anywhere, the forecasts that you come from manufacturing and production and planning is a very bad area for you to do the rest of the planning. How many trucks do I need at the end of the month? What would be on the 15th and the 16th? I think with technology coming, you are addressing larger issues in terms of your demand forecast, your festivals and the rest of them. Things like ChatGPT, for example, is a layman language that I can say. Today, if I want to go to Udaipur and Jaipur on a holiday, and my wife says, can you put an itinerary together? I don't need to break my head and call a travel consultant. I have a tool where I just go type and say, I need to go to Jaipur and Udaipur. It tells me, get up in the morning, have breakfast, says, this is your top restaurant, 10 o'clock here, further, and you present it to your wife, you are the best hero in your house. You know, so I think technology can be leveraged brilliantly. On the security angle of technology, today you have cameras that are there which are there to take out. But I know when my son comes into the house and goes out and when did he log into the gate, like my gate type of apps which are there in terms of it. When did my driver come in and go out, sort of it, your overtime calculations, your ledger accounts and so. I think there's a lot that the technology can make our lives use, but it depends again on how well versed you are. What is the challenge that we see today is that the guys in the bottom know the technology. But sometimes when we talk in the corporates, the guys on the top still are not aware that what can they change the organization to reach larger places. So if you don't leverage technology, you will perish. If dinosaurs has perished being a mighty animal, it's just because it did not know its power. And technology's power is mightier than dinosaurs. I think the biggest thing that we are missing out is the big data. We have historical data which we can take and do a lot more things. I think my take is that.
Thank you. Audience round. I saw a hand there. Yeah. Sir, over to you, then I'll come to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Sir, this is my 24th year in High Tech City. And I have worked very closely with your team back then when we received a number of delegations when Microsoft and other companies were setting up in Hyderabad. Now I have joined a Section 8 company like GFST, specializing in quantum computing. So I don't have a question, but I have two proposals to make. Quantum computing is a field which is still emerging, not adopted by the industry in production yet. But India has made a good move by creating the National Quantum Mission and launching a 6,000 crore seed fund this year. The cabinet approved it in April this year. That was in the making for the last 3 years. I wish we had somebody like you to accelerate some of those. The proposal is twofold. One, we need to create a test bed for quantum computing anywhere in India. Location can be decided collectively. Where startups can build prototypes and take those ideas in quantum computing to mainstream in the not so distant future. Today, no startup has availability of a lab where they can try something, unless that lab is created by some IBM or some AWS or Microsoft. India's own lab does not exist today. So number one is proposal is to create a test bed for startups in the field of quantum computing. Number two, the vision of the organization that I'm representing is called Quantum Ecosystem and Technology Council of India. We started it very recently. The vision is to create an incubator specifically for quantum computing startups. Again, in the near future. So these are the two proposals I wanted to table, and we need you to act as a catalyst for this sector to move more fast and India to have a strategic advantage in this space. And I will give 2 data points here. China's seed fund for quantum is $15 billion, 1-5. The country that has done more work in quantum computing, even more than US and Europe put together, is China. So that is why India needs to put its act together and bring all the minds together to make this a priority for us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We can work it out as a pressure group, GFST, how to put pressure and also how to create public policies and how to advise respect to governments, everything we can work it out. These are all new technologies. One is application of new technology is very important. If you won't apply, you won't get any outcome. That is where I entirely agree with him. Either policymakers or top in the organization, they are more traditional. Citizens and bottom overall freshers, they are more innovative, more creative, more tech savvy. That is the mismatch biggest problem. Decisions and policies they will take, ideas and innovations these people are having. How to bridge these two for overall benefit, that is the biggest challenge. We will work it out. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I remember when you are Chief Minister 15 years back, I introduced to the right people to you. One of my cousin brother, who is very successful in Dallas, USA, I introduced to you, and you are so visionary that time.
Even now I am only visionary. I am ahead of times always. That is the problem with me. If you think today, I am thinking 20 years ahead.
Yeah.
But that's why sometimes it is a disadvantage for me. People are not understanding me. That's why I am losing sometimes elections. I am not talking short term and also appeasing and giving everything. But I want to give everything. But at the same time, all our ideas are futuristic.
And when J.H. Chaudhary was there, so you are the person who brought big companies to Hyderabad, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, that time. So most of my family members, they are well settled in state. Well, they are in top position, big companies like 100.
He was a representative for STP.
Yeah.
At that time.
That time, yeah.
We used to work with him.
So we will work with you, and we will see that how make India global. One of the your
the only problem is those who got benefit out of my policies, they are not supporting further how to take forward. That is the biggest challenge. That's where I am asking. Not only finances, all these things I am not asking, but how to create good policies, how to share knowledge, how to take forward is very important for the benefit of the nation. So I need all your cooperation now. Everybody has to cooperate. All of us will work as a group for 2047. How to make this great country #1 in the world. We will give policies, we will prepare vision.
And India will become on the world map, definitely because of your leadership and everyone's support.
Yeah,
Thank
everybody has to cooperate.
Thank you. I see a hand there.
Hello, respected sir.
Yes.
I'm not from Andhra or I'm not from Hyderabad, but I started my career from here, and there are some goosebumps on my hand that I started my career from Hyderabad, and you were the one I received the first award when you inaugurated GenPact in Uppal. So there's a long story, 20 years back, and what you said about the 4 Ps, the people, the partnership, the public and the partnership. So 4 stories. So I just wanted to tell you that, and I just want to give my kind feedback to you that, that why don't we have the reformation in the Indian education system right from the school days? We are talking about, it's a very simple question, sir, that, we talk about a lot of engineering colleges, management colleges, and you were the one who started one of the first who laid the foundation for triple IT in Hyderabad at Gachibowli. But why don't we have some kind of reformation across at the country level, right from the school days, so that our next breed is ready, not at the time when the maturity is already reached. It actually should start from the beginning, where the youth is actually moving towards the next set of evolution, next set of maturity when it comes to the technology as a whole. And another part, it's just a thanks to you that it is not restricted the technology and the contribution what you made, not restricting only to Hyderabad or Andhra. What I have observed that I was able to create a space for myself, and right from the first job what I did from engineer, and then I became the CTO for Vodafone, which is one of the global organization. So it's not like people in Andhra got benefited across the country with the contribution what you made. We all took the knowledge, the skill, the capabilities and the capacity from here, and we explored not just in India but out of India also. So thank you so much, with all my warm gratitude to you.
Thank you, brother. This is where I am asking. You got an opportunity because you are an initial mover. First mover advantage, you got it at that time. Now you have reached a good position. This is where I am saying now technology is matured, and also it is a continuous process. That's why I referred beginning of infinity. You are seeing some changes as on today. ChatGPT is one. In future, you are going to see more changes, and everything is possible. That is what is going to happen in future. This is where all of you I am asking, as you rightly mentioned, you are mentioning education. I am asking top 10 policies where we can transform India, number 1 globally, Indians, number 1 globally, and also Indians can work virtually and physically for global service. Once we are all thinking population as a disadvantage. I also promoted population control. Very vigorously I used to promote. I used to call public meeting, 4 children mother, 1 child mother, I used to call on the dais. Advantage, disadvantage, I used to compare. Then they confessed. No, 1 child is they are looking after very well. 4 child we are unable to look after well. That's why within 1 decade I was able to control population. Same person I am promoting now, population management. At that time I imposed ban. If you are having 2 children, more than 2, you are not eligible to contest in local bodies. Recently I announced, I am lifting that ban. I am promoting population because in future, aging population is increasing in Andhra now, in South India totally. That is a dangerous trend. That is where I am saying, one is education policy, comprehensive policy, deep tech in education. And also you can go healthcare, as you rightly mentioned, all of you, so much of work we have to do by using technology, accuracy and proper knowledge, and we can do wonders. I am working now, one small example as an NGO, Nutriful. This Nutriful, in a trust we are working, by having, one is preventive health, and also with all these things, food as a medicine, kitchen as a pharmacy. So what your body, one is gut. You manage your gut, then so many problems you can control. You have to manage your mind. Mind and gut will talk continuously. Something wrong, then whole ecosystem will disturb. Either your heart, your BP, your sugar, your kidney, everything. Even some preventive, once in 3 months or 6 months, you can have a blood test. Basing on blood test clinical results, you can prescribe diet. Same diet, moderate or nutritious food, which one you have to take, which one you cannot take, all these things if you can do. 100% preventive disease you can control. Preventive health you can go. Communicable disease you are seeing. So much of money you are spending. From there onwards, specialization will come, as you mentioned rightly, doctors. If you can compare population with a doctor, you cannot beat. You can go with technology. Every person we can take care. Either preventive health and cure also we can handle in such a way, cost-effective healthcare. That is where you have to go through some measures, deep tech. Then road connectivity, just now I told you. Now we can go new energy policy. I created energy policy at that time, power sector reforms. At that time, if you see 60% theft or transmission losses, distribution losses, then first time power sector reforms, the regulatory commission and energy auditing, everything we have done. Today, recently I promoted solar, wind. If you can make new energy policy, you can reduce cost of fuel in all walks of life, either industry, either domestic, whatever traveling, your cars, everything drastically. How to do that? Now, just like social media, everybody is a owner on communication. Energy also you can produce at your premises, at farm, agriculture, you can subsidy, you can give it free. Then you can generate power, no land cost. Then you can use it for lifting of water. There is surplus, you will give it to grid. Then you can grid, you have to manage. Governments has to manage grid. How to manage grid? Deficit surplus for the consumer. Existing grid is enough. If you go for deep tech, again, 20 years back, 25 years back, from Yusuf Guda, I used to operate all substations off and on. Not there. Today, your house I can cut power. That is the technology today. So what I am saying, if you can do all these things, energy, it will come 2 rupees, 250, 3 rupees. Your house will be a charging station for your car or cycle or scooter. Your road is seamlessly you can travel. And energy, this environment you can imagine. All energy, electrical vehicles. So that is where I want, even governments wants money. You are saying for unit 3 rupees. I can charge you 1 rupee for electricity duty. It is a win-win situation. Government will get money. You will also happy. Clean energy, environmental, friendly. That is where you have to think energy, new energy policy. Same thing in agriculture. Lot of scope. We can produce food for the global community. Use drones, cloud computing, and then specified areas where you have to spray pesticide. Now we are going on spraying 5 times, 6 times, 10 times without knowing what is that fertilizer or pesticide owner will tell. You take this and spray, we are spraying. So that is where agriculture revolution can bring water, how to harness water, water policy. If you can bring all these things, digital currency is one in my heart. 500 or 1000 rupees or for 2000 rupees, they have banned. Even 500 also if you can do. Even every Kirana Kotu or this what you call T-Bala is able to give you swapping all these things, QR code, and automatically supplying tea, is productivity has increased. No changes are all these things. If you do all these things, today you are doing GST. quantum jump in GST. If you abolish 500 rupees and 2000 rupees, all political corruption, money hoarding, black marketing, money laundering, everything will go, then you can see the economy. Multiple areas it will grow. Finally, P4. You got an opportunity, you have to handhold 100 families, 10 families, 20 families is your duty, even CSR, corporate social responsibility. We can use everything to uplift our fellow human beings. Like this, if you prepare top 10, all of us, we can see, visualize 2047, 100 years independence.
Thank you, sir. It doesn't look like you are seeking any opinions or suggestions from all the experts.
No, I'm giving thoughts.
You already have so much of agenda prepared and...
No, I'm giving only thoughts, but solutions are with them, not with me.
Yeah, that is a point. So the industry, youngsters and startups, entrepreneurs, business leaders should take these as the base issues, problems, societal issues, and then focus on delivering solutions. Thank you so much.
What I am asking them, it is a win-win situation. You will get a revenue model and also you will get name.
Right.
I will get good benefit out of it. That is, poor people will become rich.
Right.
That is my dream. That is my wish.
Sir, I one more time go back to the panelists. In earlier conversations, we heard so many times policy. So can you quickly, very pointedly give what are the policy changes that you require, state governments or central government or whatever, to enable this technology, this ecosystem, and to make the industry deliver solutions for the vision of serving the people? Sanjay, very pointed.
Yes, sir. I'll just take a quick couple of minutes. I would like to say that if the government or the policymakers can encourage that domain and technology marriage, I feel that would be the best, because many times I see that there is a disconnect. There is technology which is being developed, but the use case and coming from the problem back into the technology needs a little bit of a overarching hand to come in. I feel maybe the policy makers can contribute to that area. That's my quick one take, sir. Thank you.
I think given all these technology advancements, and as I said earlier, data is the key for this. So, and now
data is wealth.
Yes, and every equipment, every machine will start generating data now. So, and for us to use these tools like ChatGPT or AI or other, it's very important to have a data interoperability policy addressed very clearly. Then the amount of data which gets generated, we'll be able to really harness and use it for all the citizens of India.
Yeah.
So Sridhar, earlier you were talking about a PPP project, how artificial intelligence can...
Absolutely, sir. So there are these ambitious projects certain state governments are doing. Our startup is actually doing one of those projects where we are mapping all of the Aadhars of a family and then rolling out schemes and benefits for the government for the right well-deserving persons or their families through that bit of it. There's a lot of data mismatch. A lot of times people don't put the right spellings, the right sequence of surnames. Starting from that, as simple as that. One person would actually update their address, the other person would not in the same family. So we are using extensively AI. We have done more than 2.5 crore records processing, and we have got the big bunch of services rolled out. I personally feel, but on the other side of it, in terms of policy, there is more needed because the newer generation, younger generation is much more open to give their data against the benefits. So if we can do a better job in terms of privacy, because the word is very loosely used multiple times in terms of privacy, but exactly what does it mean when you give your data? Like there are definitely amendments with say 16-digit numbers that we give away for ID card where certain numbers are masked. But there is more to it. How do we really make that secure? There is more transparency right now coming with Aadhaar, but again, there will be more requirements that will come up when it comes to AI. Similarly for blockchain, similarly for cryptos, I mean, like, there are policies where rather than putting a ban or the regulation, what we ideally require is a functional mechanics where we can compete with global players where other people are taking advantage. I feel like there would be opinion for a lot of people that crypto bubble has bursted, but again, practically, there will be centralized and decentralized both economies that will work together. We'll see new type of challenges coming out. So we need policies around that where we can compete, and like example, USDT is a currency which is stably like sustaining against US dollars. While the digital rupee comes out tomorrow, how do we really ensure that we are not again stuck in the same forex exchange value proposition? Because there is a new opportunity today where we can actually increase the value of our own digital rupee. And can we do something around policies where that dominance can be achieved? Like, there is a hard reset with digital currencies coming in. Can we do something around those by policies? Like, I think that's where there is a lot of scope.
Sriram.
So, sir, where I would see that we need to think about from a policy and technology coming from perspective. I was just reading newspaper a few days back, and we were saying that, that also Mohandas Pai a few days back was saying there is tax terrorism which is happening, and we get to see that day before yesterday's newspaper that 243 new crorepati coming in because of HUL. Now, if you see from that perspective, even every year we get in more than 100 crorepati in Ernst & Young and so on and so forth, that kind of company. We get to know so we are getting in details about people who are earning money, who are whatnot. So the policy needs to come in from a perspective that if you are investing this money for the social good, if you are investing this money in creating new jobs, what kind of incentives will come? Because the biggest threat that I see is now, if you see the number of millionaires which is increasing in India is exponentially increasing in China. And we are actually now, we have got a better opportunity. Rather, I would say that God has given us an opportunity to dominate the world because we are being blessed with the biggest number of population. So if this money is being utilized for creating of jobs, enhancing skills, how policy can help them in not getting taxed, giving them better opportunities, so that more and more a good segment of this money is being used for the better world and creating of the society. See, at the end of the day, we all should agree that we are actually product of the society from where we came in. And there is no better society than the Indian society that has given the world too much over the last few thousands of years. So that is where we need to think in that how policy can be used to encourage people who have the might today to do better for the society.
Yeah. Thank you. Satish.
Quickly, I'll come from a different angle altogether, is that deep technology and policy decision. Our take will be that the cyber crime that happens in the logistics spheres, especially where you bring down a large corporate organization running with technology and suddenly someone hacks your system and your whole world comes to an end. Now, if someone is doing that, what is that the policy or the lawmakers can do in terms of the real sort of it, because it's bringing you complete disruption. I think that's one clear policy that I would look at globally as well as within the country, because today if you hack a system and you can threaten them or you can do whatever it is, and then you come to a situation of a negotiation table. So this is worse than terrorism in a different way, and it has brought down not one company, but it's brought down several things, and we are spending millions of dollars only to see who's hacking me from which part of the world, just to see whether Maersk got hacked, or last week I was in one of the pharma companies. All servers were hacked. Now, it's just that the other guy who's hacking it doesn't have a fear on what is going to happen if he hacks it, it becomes. I think that is where, as deep technologies come in, we need to look at clearly a policy on the cyber crimes as well.
Thank you. Anyone from audience?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, greetings to all panelists and Chandrababu.
Can you be louder, please?
Yeah, greetings to all panelists and Chandrababu sir. My name is Tushar. I am a senior research scientist at AI Center of Excellence for Reliance Research. Sir, my question and the proposal in terms of technology specific is related to especially the computation kernels. Anything we do with AI requires these computation kernels. Specifically, currently we use GPUs to solve the AI problems, but in a very sooner future, we will use qubits. I want to propose that every API call for this computational servers should be made on Indian soil rather than US or China. Currently, which is not the case, and tomorrow, like a world war situation, we face the pandemic, more of an economic war like situation, and we will not be able to access those resources when the nation would need it most. So on a policy level, I want to know your views, and if you feel that this be as a strong proposal, that we have a computation servers hosted in the nation and have access to every undergrad student, startup, and other enthusiasts in a democratized way.
Can you elaborate further? What do you mean exactly? I'm able to follow.
Yes, sir. So the servers we need to have in our own nation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the
That
essence.
is where warehousing, all these things, data, clouds, all these things.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is where we have to bring a good policy and secured policy. Now people don't have any belief on existing policies. That's why people are keeping all the data outside the country. That is the biggest challenge. So we have to bring conducive policies. That is also very important. I am in favor of that. All data, India can host it. We are capable. Even foreign countries can host data here. Then so much of benefit also for us. I am in favor of it.
Thank you, sir.
All these policies, what I am saying sometimes, all our ideas may not reach top people, policymakers. That is where GFST is going to work as a supporting policy decisions, as a NGO, as a pressure group. This type of groups more and more as to emerge. It will become lobbyist also, or creating policies also, giving ideas, everything will happen. Good policies sometimes, marketing also is important. We will work it out. Thank you.
Good to know, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Sir, namaste. I am Venkateshwar Rao from Vijayawada. I am international patent holder. Reducing the keystrokes required for inputting characters of Indic languages. This is what my invention, and 2022 December I got American patent in this. So I wanted to put a proposal in front of you, that is the language technologies, computing language technologies, especially for Indian languages. There are 22 Indian languages was there: Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, Kannada, Malayalam, etc. So that's why in coming trends, when we compare with 2011 and 2021, there are massive uses of languages, Indian languages, in the cell phones or in some other computing technologies. And IBM, Microsoft, and big companies also concentrating on these latest trends. That's called localization. So I wanted to put in front of you a proposal. That's what the encouraging local languages in computers, computer technologies. And me also, I have a startup company, that's Sri Tech Nivasa Private Limited. We are going to work in this regard. So I wanted to request you to encourage this type of Indic language technologies, because of agriculturists and women just who are illiterate in English and who are very literate in their own languages. Then only we can encourage themselves in computing trends. That's what my request. Thank you, sir.
No, certainly it will develop. I remember olden days. At that time, only laptops. Only few people can handle. Even myself and also chairman, Tribal-IT Raju Reddy, we used to debate in Davos with experts how to make it very, very simple, even common man can operate. That is where icons at the time we used to think. Now it is a reality, even common man is using better than us.
Exactly.
Second one, language. We used to discuss from the beginning. Now local languages also, people are working in that. More and more softwares, all penetration, all these things has to come. All these things demand based. There is a demand, people will come to innovate. It is a reality now. Indian languages are penetrating. It is going to happen. We will also promote.
There is a lot of difference between 2011 and 2021 in uses.
No, another 5 years you will see so much of difference again. With ChatGPT also is struggling to work with local languages as of now.
Exactly.
That will be the biggest revolution in future. If they do properly, then it's a big leapfrog. It's going to happen.
Thank you, sir.
So we have to end this session. I can allow 2 more questions.
This question is, hello? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, please, carry on.
This question to Ram and Sriram from EIT. So we are talking about deep technology and a lot of data is collecting, and India has coming to this population, lot of data is collecting. How the regulations and governance is going to happen? Because as someone mentioned, if the data goes to some wrong hand, definitely it's going to be issue. From the EY team, you guys are having any kind of regulations and any kind of measures, or your team is working currently? We just want to understand. And other thing is, in AP and Telangana, a lot of lawyers are available here, and they don't have the opportunities like compared to the other IT or other sectors. So we want to see in the regulation sector, specific to deep technology, is there any options to them if they can study specific courses or if they can concentrate on specific technologies? We just want to hear, because EY team is mostly focused on the audit-related consulting.
So, yeah, in fact, I'll just address the last part which you mentioned, right? Audit is just one part of the function which EY or most of the big fours do, right? Audit is just one function. And in the advent of this whole technology explosion which is happening, right? Now most of likes of EY, other big fours also, technology is mainstream now. So technology consulting is the largest practice, if you will, right, in most of the big fours. Now the data and the policy part, right? As a part of the government sector or a vertical, right, within EY, we work very closely with the Ministry of Information Technology, right? And that's where I was referring earlier to the data related policy. Because going forward, the data generation, the sources itself is going to explode. Every device is going to generate data, and devices have to communicate with each other, and that is very important. So already there is a data policy, as well as there was a question on data residency also. So that policy, EY is already working with some of the ministries. So, and I'm sure other big fours are also, right, because everybody is participating in that. That is already in works. I think the minister sometime back also announced that yes, there is a draft which is coming out, right? But I think that's very important piece, and especially when AI and some of these tools are becoming mainstream and every citizen is using those, that becomes extremely important. So I think it's high time government has to come out with that. So EY is working with the government and the ministries on that.
Any quick add?
No, I just wanted to say, like, you know, that with reference to EY, when even we are working with quite a lot of different government agencies, the first thing that we look at is the data. So like, for example, I was being asked to work on give inputs for creating startup policy in one of the states, and in that particular state, it is one state wherein it's one of the most highly, joblessness is there in that index. It's very high, And wherein when we wrote the policy, especially keeping that in mind, we kept in mind that, that the companies, the startups or the companies which are specially working in the skill sector should be given some more advantage than somebody else, keeping that thing into the mind. So it might sound very simple, but if you are getting in more and more skill development companies, then in that case you are creating that skill deficit, you're closing that skill deficit which was there. So from that perspective, so whichever sector it is, wherever we are working in, we first go and see what kind of data we have, what it is, and how it really takes us to leapfrog. Leapfrog is an older version. Rather, we think about Volpalt, that what can be done in a bigger sense, or what are the best technologies, or what are the best things that the best countries are doing that we can bring in, and it is being done in a very systematic fashion, wherein it's a step-by-step growth which can happen over a period of year, and data of monitoring of that growth is also being monitored at all places. So keeping right from policy creation, policy governance, and the procedures of following them, everything is monitored, wherein we keep data inside, that bringing that, creation, monitoring, everything, we keep data into focus while doing that.
Thank you.
I have to acknowledge CBN sir. I started my career with Center for Good Governance, which is started by you with the DFID UK related body. I am very much happy to say that in 2005 itself, we started as an AP government with what are the technology we used to capture and what are the governance reforms were happened in that one. And just I want to acknowledge it. Thank you.
Thank you. Very
Thank
nice.
you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I have a few more questions, but they are very technical. What I can do is the panelists are going to be here for a tea session. Then either I can ask them on your behalf or you can interact with them. But there is one final question which I would like to put it to CBN sir. This is from Mr. Chowdhury from NippleNet Solutions.
No, you are not giving women any question. She is raising hand.
Yeah. Sir, this creating...
Gender biased.
Making...
You are gender biased.
Yeah, please go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity. My question is, we've seen what wonderful leadership could do to a state or a country, or, how it has impacted all our lives being here. So I wanted to ask you, what important piece of advice would you give for all the leaders who are driving this technology forward?
No, what I am saying, from the beginning, I am a strong believer in technology and leadership. Everything is possible. You want to achieve anything in life, have a focus, have your own vision. To achieve that vision, you work very hard. 20 years back or 25 years back, I used to have hoardings, dare to dream, strive to achieve. That was my slogan at that time. Now, because of all these things, some takers, people like you, even sometimes I am worried, people are not coming to politics. I am thinking we are all selfish. We are all earning more comfortable lives. Thereby, quality of politics is deteriorating. All our future, all public policies are decided by politicians. If there is a quality of public policy, there is a transformation of the society, overall transformation. This is where we have to work it out, continuous way, how to bring better quality. If I didn't have this opportunity as a politician, I should not have been done these policies, IT, all these things, Cyberabad or IT or BT or pharma, all these things. This type of transformation is not possible. Ultimate, a leader in public life is important. Strong leader in the country's future is transformed, or state, or a company, or a family. This is my strong belief. Now more and more qualitative politicians has to come to public life. I wish all the best people like you has to join.
Thank you so much.
Or you work.
Thank you.
Now, sometimes I'm feeling bad also. Those people are very, very affluent. you won't bother about voting. The value of vote, you are unable to analyze. Some people, 2,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees, they are selling their future. That is another mortgaging. That is also dangerous trend. This is where democracy has to be protected continuously. That is where I am requesting all of you, awareness among, at least you have to bring awareness among voters. Now earlier, all of us used to do politics means only joining politics and do. Now we can change the public opinion through social media. You are the owner of your social media, either YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, anything for that matter. That is how we have to build opinion positively for good things. That is very important.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
One last question, sir, to you. This is also from the audience and on behalf of all of us. Sir, how do we change the poor to rich or improve the poor by using technology? Because that is the major question. Your vision also uplifting the downtrodden communities, and so how do you see the technology changing and impacting the poor people and farmers?
Now I am asking you, this is very nearer to my heart, because why I am saying, after economic reforms, P3 is the model. Public-private partnership. Now I am proposing P4 model as a futuristic. What is futuristic? People, public means government, private agencies and partnership. If you can make this arrangement, as on today there is CSR, corporate social responsibility, you are all educated, some of you, most of you I can say, you born in a small family just like me, but we got an opportunity. You are masterized step by step with management techniques and leadership qualities. You are having that management bandwidth, and also you are having some resources. This is where this policy I am thinking everybody can adopt some families. 5 families, 10 families, basing on your capacity and bandwidth. Then automatically governments will be a facilitator. What all government is giving will give the beneficiaries. You also mentor him, just like what Sanjay is doing. You can mentor them. Then you can hand-holding. Continuously you can create WhatsApp groups, 50 persons or 20 persons. Then they will ask any decisions from you, suggestions. You can give real time. Then you can prepare by using ChatGPT, vision for that family, how many human resource, natural resource, human resource is having, any children, 10th class or intermediate, how to educate him, guide him to have better education, then their skills, what are all the skills they are having, suitable to their activity is there, or have some modification of skills, improvement of skills. Same person, if you see one example, same illiterate man will get a job in the village. He will get 200 rupees a day. Same illiterate person, little bit skills, manners, body language, some English words, if you can get ITC, this hotel, you will get 20,000 rupees or 50,000 rupees. What it means? That is the value addition. If you can do that, proof of concept is every year per capita income. We can measure very easily per capita income. Then those who can perform well, government has to honor them, respect them. This is the cycle I want to create. It is our responsibility. You are all thinking to look after people or public, it is government responsibility. You are also taxpayers. You are earning money, you are giving to government money, that money we are spending. But if you involve, it is a quick transformation. This is where P4 model, I don't have any doubt, I am telling you again and again, you write down today, 2047. India will be number 1 or 2 globally, it will happen. That is the strength of India as on today. Second, Indians all over the world, you write down today, by 2047, number 1 influential community in serving the global community needs. You may call service, you may call exploitation of commercialization, I don't mind. But both public governance and corporate governance, Indians are going to dominate. By that time, I don't want to see again poor people as poor forever. They are hand-holding, P4 policy, how to make poor to rich. It is everybody's responsibility. Governments will facilitate, all of us has to cooperate, we will work together. That is the great India we wanted to see. That is where I need all of you to join with us in GFST. We will frame the policies, we will put pressure to governments.
Thank you very much, sir.
You wanted to say, ask anything? Yes. Yeah, please.
Okay, sir. So myself, Sharat Mutyala. So I have 2 questions here just related to deep technology. The first question is that with the rapid increase, thank you. So with the rapid increase of this kind of technologies like robotics and data commercialization and all, most of the people are losing their jobs as of now. So we are seeing that. Definitely we cannot stop the technology as we have discussed, so but we have to equip the next generation students or the people with the kind of technology to operate, and we should be in a position to operate them. So how to handle this kind of situation, as we are talking about the people to uplift their living standards. So on one side, if they are losing the jobs, how to handle this kind of situation? So with every adoption of the technology, this may happen. This is one. And second thing is that how we can also use this kind of deep technology in this kind of taxation system, because most of the MSMEs are facing the tax issues and individuals are facing the tax issues. As you have rightly mentioned, sir, that we are the taxpayers has to take the responsibility of this, and so directly or indirectly paying a lot of taxes and owning the ownership is also one challenge. So how the deep technology can be the like one use case is the tax. So how that will help the MSME sector to grow further, and how to handle with the capacity building of the next generations to handle with the technology to sustain in the job market. These are 2 questions.
Yeah, you are right. Only regarding to taxation. It is a continuous process how to promote MSMEs, that we have to continuously do that, how to transfer that benefit. It all public policies again. The way we have to put pressure and lobbying to governments to listen our request, that can be done. Second one is jobs. People are thinking IT will remove jobs. How to create wealth? There are conflicts again. Creating wealth, you need IT. Having jobs, again, you don't want IT. What I wanted to emphasize all of you, creating wealth, create more and more jobs also. IT is only enabler for creating jobs. I told you just now, GPT will transform, it is beginning. Every family, if you prepare a vision document for GPT, India will become a global supplier for services and also goods, either physical or virtual. You can imagine the opportunities. Thanks to Europe, thanks to Japan, thanks to China, countries aging, they need our services now. Either doctors or nurses or some other services, so many things. You make use of all these opportunities. Be a global citizen, outlook, integrate with the global economy, and exploit services or goods for the global community. That is our vision. It is possible. That is where demographic management, if we do, after 100 years before we are all slaves, next 100 years independence, we will be the leaders, number one leaders for globally to serve the global community. That is going to happen. That is where from now onwards we have to plan demographic management also to have different ages of population from now onwards, so that always we have to meet our demands. Otherwise, India will become, after 2047, another China or another Europe or Japan. It is going to happen.
Thank you very much, sir. On that inspiring note, that was a stimulating experience. Listening
somebody wanted
sir,
to...
we are really short of time.
Oh, okay. Don't disappoint him. Let us see.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm taking clue from your last note, what you said, like yes, we are doing a lot of innovation on the deep technology and all, but you also said that we need to know how to market these technologies to the world. So on this note, I would like to thank you for that ISB, which is a global business institute where you got to your Hyderabad. From last 20 years, 20 plus years, I think we have not received any other institute just like ISB. So I just want to thank you, sincere gratitude to getting the ISB to Hyderabad.
Now, I am very happy he has given a solution, ISB solution, to get jobs or outsourcing consultancy. Even for ISB, how much effort I put at that time. Fortune 500 companies wanted to start business school. Then it has reported in some magazine. They wanted to go to Bombay, Maharashtra government, Karnataka government, Tamil Nadu government. Then no agenda for Andhra Pradesh. At that time, Andhra Pradesh was not in the map. Then my secretary told me. Then McKinsey chief at that time, Rajit Gupta was the chairman of that committee. All top people are in the board. Then I telephoned to them. They told me, sir, you are right, but we don't have any inclination towards Hyderabad. It is not in our list. Then I told them, okay, don't consider Hyderabad. You come for a cup of tea or breakfast, and then you decide on merits. I don't mind. Then they came. Same business principles applied. How to market it. Then I sent my ministers, 4 or 5 ministers to airport to receive them. Very good AC bus I organized for them. Then they came to me, to my house. Then immediately I got beautiful bouquets and also shawls, and I honored them. Then I received one by one. Then I served breakfast by giving plates. Then I gave a presentation. By seeing all these things, by that time they are all totally inclined, perception. Then they asked me what you are going to give. Don't ask me anything. You go to respective governments, what they offer. You make it +1, send it to me, I will accept it. They went to Karnataka, they got appointment after 4 hours. They went to Maharashtra, they asked him reservations. You have to give reservations for our state. They went to Tamil Nadu, they gave garland or bouquets to give it to Chief Minister. So it makes all the difference. One is goodwill creation, second is clinching marketing strategy. I am very happy. ISB is one of the best institutes now. I really appreciate them. They are at the time nobody knows what is business, ISB or MBAs, all these things, nobody knows. So I am very happy. Now you can give solutions for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice, sir.
Sir, that was really stimulating experience listening to the visionary who was talking about digital technologies 2 decades ago and now looking ahead of another 2 decades to create a society where technology is used to uplift the marginalized communities, ensure equitable access, and address all social, economic, and environmental challenges. As always, sir, it was a very inspiring session. We are really fortunate to have you with us, and thank you so much for sparing time and sharing your thoughts. A big round of applause, please. Before I announce the formality of giving mementos to the panelists and to the chief guest, I request Sri S.P. Thakkar sir to come over onto the dais and say a few words.
Thank you. I have 4 very simple comments here as an addition to whatever is happening. It's a very happy day for all of us. Point number 1 is we are looking at new model of governance in the country for which we can show the way, and we are looking at near future where the poverty word will simply go out of our system, and that's how the system is growing, especially when India is going to move from 3 trillion to 10 trillion in the next 10 years and then 40 cross beyond that. So per capita income is rising, all equity is getting answered. This is point number 1. Now point number 2 is that what is the outcome of this group's discussion today? This is a beginning of discussion, not an end of discussion. So it results into number of outcomes for which the groups will have to be formed, people will have to come together. So first of it will be public policy, if we are looking at 2029 and 2047. So public policy will be one critical item. Action planning simultaneously will be another item. Mr. Naidu always has talked about Falcon X, which he started, Nandi Foundation, which again he started. There are so many things which are there. On similar lines, if we are looking at startups of 2 kinds, the existing units which are already working and they are struggling, like we have a digital stack for MSMEs, again how it comes out, and the new startups. So how are we going to work on that? Who are the other volunteers who are willing to come and join GFST? This again will be very, very important for us, and take it as your own forum so that you can participate and then come back and contribute. So this is point number 2. We are also proposing to conduct similar conclaves every 30 to 45 days. As Mr. Naidu has mentioned, at least 10 points, 10 items are there. So we already have thought leaders in these areas. We also are looking for much more, and then we are trying to work out on that. So if you have any ideas in this context, or if you would like to partner with us, you are all welcome towards it. The final point is gfst.in is the website. Have a look at it. How do you want to contribute it to in whatever you think is possible? Please give that. It's already given over there. And just now we've got a message that UNESCO would like to join into our initiatives in various ways as to how we can take it forward. So all of you are welcome. Be a part of it. Tell your friends and all other people who can play some kind of a role, and let us take this forward. I remember when we discussed about formation of GFST, we were looking at something, our own World Economic Forum kind of a body, because World Economic Forum refused to come to India, though they have partnership with CII, but they refused to come to India. They are present in America, China and Japan, but not in India. Some discussions were going on to set up something in Mumbai, but we have our own forum like this where all of you can participate, and please mention to any more number of people who would like to join us. We are always available. Our information is available and you are welcome to join. Thank you. Thank you. No, India at 800 for Indians, and every state is welcome. Like we have a member here who is participating in 10 states. So Telugu is one thing, but all other states also are welcome for that. It's open in every possible.
And as the name says, it's a global forum, so there is no regional limitations. Thank you very much, Thakkar sir. Now I request Sri Chandrababu Naidu Garu to give mementos to all the panelists who contributed to this forum. So firstly to Mr. Sanjay Jasrani. to Mr. Sridhar Seshadri. Next to Satish Lakaraju. Mr. Sriram Iyer. And Ram Deshpande. Now I request Thakkar sir to present a memento to Sri Chandrababu Naidu Garu as a token of our love and affection, and Sanjay also to accompany. Kutumbrao Garu, Ramnath Garu. Thank you so much, sir. So that brings to the end of the first edition of seminar in our series. We extend our heartfelt thanks for gracing this occasion to Chandrababu Naidu Garu and all the expert panelists, and also the volunteers and India Next for their hard work in putting together the conference. We have a tea break. I request all the participants to have their tea and snacks.